What's up, guys? We're at the RTISAN Podcast. I have my very good friend, I guess you can call it that, Mr. Brandon James.
You know what? I don't have to take this abuse.
Hey, Mr. Brian Nolen. What's up, my dude? How you feeling, man?
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, I guess it's evening. I guess it's kind of dark outside.
It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, man, and it's raining. What the fuck?
It is raining.
It's all good. It's all good.
And we lost an hour of time. We gained an hour.
Gained an hour.
That has
to be rested.
I feel lost because it gets dark at 4 o'clock now.
It does get lost. It does get dark at like 3:30. It wasn't even 4 or 5.
I don't really like that.
But I think it was because it was raining. It got dark a little earlier.
Yeah,
at
that too.
2:30.
No clouds. I mean, all clouds.
Yeah.
Sun, all that.
Yeah.
You know, I lived in Hawaii, man. They do not do daylight saving time out there.
They don't do it right.
No.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it doesn't affect my life at all.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Alaska doesn't do it either.
You're right. I think they don't.
There's somewhere in Indiana that doesn't do it either.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Look at those motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's like some little cluster where they don't do it.
They can get rid of it.
It's got to be like in the south. It got to be like Southern Indiana. Or something
It could be.
like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure. Like, we don't do what we want to do.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of what they want to do out of Southern Indiana. We're gonna leave that alone because yeah, exactly. We just started the podcast. Exactly. We'll get into that, man. We'll get into that. But we're here at the at Reggie's here on what is this 21st instead of 22nd? Okay, we're here at Reggie's. This place is really a staple of the South Loop. Really Chicago at this point. For you guys' Soulful Sundays that you've been hosting for how long now? I know it's been a while.
Been about a year now.
Yeah,
damn, man.
Coming up on a year.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. How'd you guys get this started?
So I saw Brian at another event. He used to host this event in the South Suburbs called the Real Music Series, right?
Correct. Yep.
And I was like, Brian, this is a dope idea, and I always say it, and this probably sounds so like cliche, but God came to me in a vision, and it was like, I had a dream. I literally had a dream, and most of the times I remember my dreams, but when I usually do, it's something significant. And I thought about, I was doing this event, it was called Soulful Sunday. I don't know if I went to sleep and just saw something like that, but I did.
Right.
So I woke up and I started working on the idea, thinking about how I could do it, and I did it on my own for a couple of trials, and like, okay, this could work, but I need some help. So when I did Brian's event, I was like, we could just work together. So Brian, he was acting a little funny. You know how y'all are. You just
You know what's funny about him?
It's toxic.
It's always somebody else.
It is always somebody else.
Always.
It's always you.
It's never.
It is always
It's never you, bro.
It's never me.
I don't understand.
You know why? You know why? Because I'm
that?
friendly. I am transparent. This would have never happened if I didn't go up to Brian in the first place. I was like, Brian, let's do this. He's like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying.
You ever thought about maybe he felt like he didn't really need you?
He's big time to me.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
he thought, no, but you know what? It wasn't that. Brian's actually a cool dude. He's really cool. But you have to size people up. There's a lot of people out here that talk stuff and have ideas and don't follow through with nothing. But this actually really worked out, man. Like, so he came out to an event that I had and checked it out like a good person in prospecting.
Right.
And it turned out it was on popping from there. So,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
All right, for your side of the story, how do you?
That's relatively accurate.
Right.
We met last year around this time. I think it was like September. Of 2017. He performed at. I used to run an event out in the South Suburbs, the Real Music Series in Tinley Park. He performed, and so he approached me actually about management.
Yeah.
And so we connected there, and then once we started working together on a management tip, then from there he said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. I got this idea. What do you think?" I was like, "Okay, let me check it out."
Right.
And then I decided it would be something good for us both to do.
For sure.
It's very rare that you have an artist that has a residency that they're involved in.
Right.
A lot of times,
Right.
a venue or promotion company, or production company rather, will have a residency, but an artist having one is pretty rare.
True.
So I saw that as a way to get people in front of Brandon and help grow his brand.
He's been doing a great job, and the event, thank God, has been really taking off. We have a really good talent here. Like, a lot of people have been taking to it, and it's really good.
It's funny. I think through you doing this, we've gotten to know a lot of the same people, and we were talking a little bit earlier before we started recording about building good relationships with people and just being authentic. And I remember a friend, Leffridge and the Jones, those two. Yeah, man. I've played with them. I've recorded some of their stuff at other people's events, And I was talking to Ken, and he was like, I was like, oh man, you did a show with my man. He was like, yeah man, he cool as hell, bro. I like working with him. Everything is real professional on the up and up. And it's nice to hear that people you rock with, it's like, oh yeah man, he's legit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that just further strengthens your brand. And it makes people, when the musicians want to be in a certain place, they start inviting people out. So you become a type of guy who people want to be around. And everything just kind of works out like that, man.
It's like two-sided, right? So you got your image, what you display,
right,
and then you got word of mouth. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people have good packages. Me and Brian talk about this all the time. There's some great artists out here that on paper, they look amazing.
Right.
Behind the scenes, they are a nightmare. They just don't, they're not easy to work with. And, you try to screw people out of things. It's just, we all trying to get that.
Absolutely.
So let's win together,
I hear you, man.
So, it's a collaborative effort. Like one person can't do it all.
Definitely.
And like we were talking about before we started rolling, like all you have is your name.
That's real.
So
man.
if you're not able to stand on your name, and you said if your name is flaky in the streets,
right,
you can forget about it.
That's real.
It spreads like wildfire.
It does, man.
So,
it does.
Yeah, that's important.
In a city with millions of people, like
exactly,
it's a real small community out here.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, like the music community is so small because within the millions of people, there are only a couple thousand people that are actually true live performers. Right?
That's true, man.
And then you narrow that down to soul music or R&B.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of times we put together the gospel R&B community because we need the whole thing.
No, that happens a lot, man. A lot of the same
musicians.
There's
a whole thing.
No doubt, man.
They are
church, the same 3 bass players. It's the same 4 drummers. It's the same 3 or 4 guitars.
Players we done seen here?
Bro, the
artist switch with the players. Like I saw you last week. I was like,
yeah, bro.
And like you play for them too. Yeah. I was like, all right,
that's real.
Yeah, it's that circle. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Absolutely. So for all you young tykes out there looking to come up in the in the music game, period. Be consistent, be on time, be likable, all those things that people tell you. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Be a good person,
for sure.
And just work hard. Like try to don't rely on other people to. So that's the thing, and I think that's why me and Brian work well together. Because Brian, and he works really hard, and then I work really hard, and that coming together, oh my God, that makes magic, man. A lot of people get managers and stuff, and they expect them like, oh, we need you to carry me to across the finish line. Well, no, I mean, but no. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna help you. Everybody on your team is there to help. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To basically accentuate what you got going on, but not to do it for you. You got to say, you got to work.
Absolutely.
You got to make them connections.
Absolutely, man. I'm with you 100%. I mean, that's something I have to reteach myself every single day. No matter how much music I wrote the day before, it's like, today is a new day, and no one cares about what you did. Everybody's kind of like, okay, what's next? And that's one thing I kind of find.
That's stressful because like we'll have a good show. We had a packed show in October, and we were like, oh my God, this is great. So as soon as that show was over, I'm like, dang, okay, now next one. What we got to do? You know what I mean? On to the next one.
Absolutely, man. That kind of makes me admire like professional athletes. You have a 50-point game and you got another game tomorrow.
All right.
You
you got to show up.
You got to show up. Now they expect, okay.
Now cats looking at you, you ain't about to get off on me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Drop another 50.
Right. No, that's real, bro. That's real. So what are you working on outside the Soulful Sundays thing? What can we expect from you as an artist?
So aside from Soulful Sunday, Brian and I, we got a lot done this year. Actually, I've been performing. I had another showcase residency at HVAC for the Cub Series. I did that this year. Right now, I'm working on music. So that's what I'm saying. I was in the studio yesterday for 8 hours, a whole shift. Pulling them 8 hours at the studio. So I'm making some new music, and actually, we're trying to build on bigger opportunities next year. So this platform is affording us the opportunity to connect on bigger stuff.
I hear that.
Like opening for major artists and trying to like land tours and everything.
Yeah, the next big thing is gonna be we're gonna try to get a Midwest tour. Try to hit some of the big Midwestern cities, St. Louis, Detroit,
no doubt,
Indianapolis, even maybe Des Moines or Davenport, Iowa.
For sure.
Places like that. So that's the next.
Popping too. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
like,
Memphis,
dang.
Nashville, places like that. So that's the next move to try to work that out so that you can get a little more FaceTime from people outside of the Chicago area.
For sure, man. It's important to get out there away from home.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It is.
It's
very important.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
You know, while we're talking about that, getting away from home and maybe getting additional exposure that's not in one of the major metropolitan cities in America, how do you as a manager, because I know everybody doesn't want to be an artist, some people's skill sets are just better suited to you know, the analytical side of things, the day-to-day, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank God for them.
Bro, I don't have that, bro.
I don't have it at all.
I can't. My mind just wanders, bro. For sure.
I'm like, Brian, look, I can't. He'll make an Excel sheet real quick.
No,
and put it together.
I got you, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That, to answer that question fully, so I started off as a jazz musician.
Right.
I started playing trombone in 5th grade. Went to Homewood Flossmoor, went to Millikan University, you know, played jazz, all of those things. And then after college, I started working. And then that's when my analytical mind started getting fed a little bit. And I was working down in Central Illinois, Decatur, where I went to school, and I stopped playing. Then in 2013, I moved back up here. And I was checking out a lot of music, collaborating with a lot of people, just hanging out, really. And then I just kind of fell into that, hey, why don't you try this? Hey, why don't you try that? People started asking me questions about their performances. They should tweak this and this. And so that landed me in kind of a management role. And then I linked up with Brandon. I worked with a couple other artists prior to Brandon. But then we linked up, and it's been good in that aspect. So to answer your initial question, when it comes to management, like getting stuff done, is really about creating the proper team, right? So like, I'm not an expert at everything, right? But I have his best interest at heart, right? So my goal is to bring in other individuals that can help advance his career. So for example, like a booking agent or a publicist or a photographer, right? Or a videographer, right? People like that. So it's really about having a strong team. And I'm kind of in the center of that. So inquiries come in through me, you know, this, that, and I just kind of manage it. Manager. And so if you look at any artist that's doing well, they've got an on point this, that, and the favorite person. Right?
Absolutely.
Social media cat, they got a booking agent, they got a tour manager, they got somebody that shines their shoes, a back massage, right? Like, the team is assembled. So that's really my goal, is to get people to know what he's doing, right, and then gain interest from those said people. So that's really, and then I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff too.
For sure.
In the forefront, that's my main focus.
So managing resources and finding resources.
Yes.
You gotta look for. I mean, like, you know, that's the name of the game. And then with the artist though, and y'all both know this, like, it's hard. Like, sometimes I talk to Ryan and she's just a sounding board. Like, dealing with my band and dealing with people's schedules, and because the thing is, I don't put everything on him, so I try to just like, okay, let me deal with like the booking for this stupid stuff, or this stuff that I got going on here. Let me deal with the schedule for the band, and then so that way he's handling other stuff, so I'm not overloaded. Because the thing is, me trying to do everything myself, something's not gonna get done right. Like, a lot of stuff ain't gonna get done right. So, and my focus is music, how I'm gonna sound on stage, the performance. So, I think. Somebody got a dog. That dog was like, I hear that, you better get that music together.
Man, that's funny as hell.
No, but yeah, it's like I like the balance, and I understand and appreciate the balance more than ever. I think that really finding people that do what they say has been a problem, though. I think I've always understood that I needed a manager. But you know, so many opportunists and gamers.
It's definitely a lot of people that just want to. Not a lot of people that want to help navigate the bus or drive the bus. It's a lot of people that want to ride the bus to, you know, the land of prosperity, wherever that may be, or whatever that is, or however that may manifest itself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks just, oh man, this cat got some potential. If I could do the bare minimum and kind of be a hanger-on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you definitely, you know, both of you guys, man, you definitely got to weed those people out and find out who they are. You know?
Yeah, you do.
For sure. Let me ask you guys something. Since you know you're a musician, you are active artists in doing music, and you're taking on the role as a manager of artists. What are you guys looking to get out of the music game? You know, a lot of us at some point, you know, and it's just natural. We want the money, the fame, the power, right? Like that's that's always the thing that's in the front. And when people see us, that's probably what they think that we want out of it. And if that's what you want, cool.
Right.
But what is it that you guys are looking to gain as individuals, as a team, in music, as artists? Tell me about it.
I think ultimately for me, that's amazing, right? That would be amazing if that happened. If I just became an John Legend for some reason, you know. And anything is possible. Like
Right.
I just read the other day this old woman in the Black Panther movie. She's 88 years old.
Yeah.
Her first break. Everybody knows who she is. She done went 88 years of her life.
Right.
And now she's a superstar.
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
I was like, come on, Jesus.
Wait,
like,
who was that?
I can't remember her name, but I just saw it on Facebook. I remember seeing her in the movie.
Yeah.
And I just remember that now she is very successful. She booked for other stuff. I was like, come on. Like, and then, Morgan Freeman, they got, became famous.
Right.
I can't find a young picture of him yet.
It's
I was like, where is it at?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing
I was like,
for Hollywood. That's a good point.
I was like, dude, like, but my point to say that is that I'm okay with the journey and I'm okay with that process. And so the dream is ultimately like, oh yeah, I want to be super famous and I want to do this. But my real life adult, realistic dream is like, I want to be successful. What that success looks like for me is to be only doing music. That's my job. Right? And my income, everything like that. Moving around, going on tour, having an entertainment company. Because there's still a business mind to me.
Right, for sure.
But I just need a master of that to help bring that out.
Absolutely.
And then, like you said, you need a partner. So if me and Brian can have a business entertainment company, that involves stuff like Soulful Sunday, managing artists, having labels, things like that. There's so many things you can do. There's not one avenue to be successful. So I just want to be overall engaged in music as full time as I can and just live that process. Live that purpose. Because I think that's what God gave me to do. I ain't put all this effort in this for nothing.
It's funny you say. I was talking to my brother, and he wants to open a restaurant. And he has a great job.
Yeah.
And he's building towards that. And I was just like, he asked me, he's like, he looked like he was getting down because of the obstacles that was there. And I was like, bro, at some point you got to just leave. Because there's never going to be that perfect situation. I said that perfect situation could be 4 years from now.
Yes.
The way he talking, I'm like, do you want to wait 4 years? I mean, yeah, there's a certain level of security that comes with that. And you're like, no, yeah, that's great. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know if that really comes. I really don't. So I appreciate what you're saying. That process,
absolutely.
that journey is real.
Yeah.
That's real. What about you, bro?
Yeah, so I have an entertainment company already, right? So Nolen Entertainment Group.
Check him out.
Follow me on
Instagram. We're gonna link that. We're gonna link that.
Rando 20 on Instagram.
For sure.
Follow us on social media.
No doubt.
But basically the goal is currently my business, I do 3 different things. So I manage artists.
Right.
I promote live music shows, which is Soulful Sunday.
Right.
And I used to do some other things outside, of course, for a music series. And then I also book bands for like private events, like weddings, birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, housewarmings, whatever, right? So I do that as well. So the goal, like Brandon says, is to grow that, right? So this is my main source of income. And then we've always got 3-ring circus moving all the time, right?
Absolutely.
We got bands out, Brandon's performing, we promote shows, helping artists cut albums, just really be a one-stop shop for people in the music industry. So that's the goal as we grow. And yeah, just to, because this is a passion for both of us, right?
For sure.
This isn't at this level, it's not a lot of money coming in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so we do it because
a lot of labor of love.
And we see the vision. And to your point about taking a leap, me and Brandon have been, we took a leap recently.
For sure.
We'll discuss that later. But we took a leap and we just had to do it. We were going back and forth for months, Should we do it? Should we not? We don't know. But we took the leap and I think it's definitely going to pay off.
For sure.
But to your point, I was excellent that you brought that up because we have been kind of mulling over that, this leap and some ones that we're going to have to take anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, we're trained as a society to work, do what you got to do, live comfortably, be successful.
Absolutely.
That's fine. I mean, the thing is, everybody's dream doesn't have to be extravagant. Somebody wants to be a housewife, have a good home, have just a successful career. But some dreams are more convoluted than that, and I think it's not that being a musician is that much harder, because I don't think being a doctor is easy.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
You know, people fail out of medical school and law school and things like that, and then they have to work all the way through that. They ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just about who's gonna make it.
Right.
Who's gonna make you go? I feel like no matter what you do, how much work you put in, you're gonna be successful. How that looks at the end of the road is one thing, and you don't know that. But one thing I can guarantee, at the end of this road, I will be successful. I will be immersed in music community, and that's the goal. That's the goal. Only way it won't happen is if I give up. You know what I'm saying?
That's real, man.
So I'm not about that.
That's real.
Brandon's a super hard worker. I've been around music my whole life, you know, and so there are not a lot of people that are, like he said, willing to like put their money where their mouth is. And if he says I'm gonna work hard, he does.
For sure.
So I appreciate that about him as well.
Absolutely, man. Look at you. Man, saying nice shit about you.
You know?
Yeah.
You better. You can invest in his time in somebody you think gonna waste his time.
No, that's real.
That's real, bro. That's another thing. Relationships are everything. People wasting time nowadays.
Man, bro, that's tough, bro.
You know, let's have a relationship podcast.
And we can do that, bro. We get y'all up here. Get some woman perspective.
We'll be here all night.
I bet, G.
We'll have a round table.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I got an idea about that.
Hey, let's do
this
it.
YouTube channel
Fuck it,
going.
bro. Let's go.
Let's get this YouTube channel going.
Fuck it, let's go.
Let's
go, man. We'll make it
happen.
happen.
Chat circle. Like me and my friend used to do this thing called conversation parties, and we would talk about like relationships, dreams, work ethic, stuff like that. And that's like, and there was some real shit coming out of that. And I'm like, we should put this on YouTube.
Yo, let's do it. You know let's not even talk about it.
And you know what though? You know what I don't like?
What's that?
I love that women have all these platforms and stuff like that now, like The View, I don't see a male version of that perspective.
That's a good point.
A good liberal or progressive male version of that perspective. I don't see that. I think that would kind of take some of the monsterism off men a little bit if we could showcase men in this nice platform. That have these good ideas about women and life, and here's this perspective about this. You know? I don't know. I would like to see that.
Let's talk about that.
That's a money making opportunity. You see,
Let me check the tape and we're gonna come back.
Edit that.
Yeah,
I already licensed it. Listen, don't patent pending.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen,
that wrong.
I'm just saying.
So the first one they had was him and Draymond Green was on there. That wasn't the first one. That wasn't the first one. That was like one of the second ones, the third ones that they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Jon Stewart.
That was one of I think that was the first one of the newer series of things that they had started to do. But I know which one you're talking about. It was Kirsten was drinking wine and shit like that.
Yeah, in the bar.
Yeah, it was cool. But there's a new one with Drake.
Oh, dope.
That's the one. When he's talking about Kanye.
Right.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
And it's cool, but they're not talking about.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, they're not going there.
They're talking about millionaires.
Yeah.
And having fake beef with other millionaires.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is cute.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I just think that if we had how did these ideas start? You know what I'm saying? Like
shit like this.
Shit like this. I think we should do that.
Bro, let's make it happen, man. I got all the fucking equipment.
I'm telling you, we could do an artist one. We could do a relationship one. There's so many like themes. You can have a different theme every month, every week, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
See, look. entertainment. I'm telling you, more than one way to
bro. That's 100%.
You got Jeremy, and Jeremy could moderate the whole
Hey,
situation. You sit at the table like this, just like
yeah.
Don Lemon. Then you sit at the table, and then you like, let me put this.
Bro, can we just talk about the transformation of Don Lemon over the last? Bro, when he first popped out,
he said all white men are the devil.
He said that. I didn't peep that.
He didn't say it like that, but he basically said that. That's basically what he said. He said white men are the biggest terrorists in America.
It's rough out here, man. I mean, there's so much tension in the world right now, and especially as it pertains to politics, man. It's just like, like you got a rubber band, you pull it, and you take a knife, and it just snap, right? Like
Absolutely.
It's that much tension, and so everything is like on high alert. Like, oh, don't say that,
right?
Oh, don't do this, don't do that, And then you got, obviously our president is not. He's not good.
He's not a unifier.
He's not good at communicating, right? Like he's
good at communicating.
He says stuff, but he's not like properly communicating as like the leader of our country.
Right.
Like there's a certain way to say things, right? And your views are supposed to, even though they may fall on the left or right side, they're still supposed to be like rounded views. Supposed to be like pointed, like dagger.
I mean,
views,
this is a country of 360 some odd million people. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna cater to these people right here and keep everything.
You can't be a bully. Like that's. I mean, it's funny, okay, fine, but it's not funny because like this is real life.
Well, it's funny that we're having this conversation. We're saying this about President Trump. Damn near half the people that did vote, roughly half the country voted.
Correct.
And almost half the country voted for him. So maybe what we're saying is only true for us.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's something to consider because he was saying these things.
He was.
Before he got elected, and it wasn't,
half of that voted, you see what I'm saying? I see what you're saying.
Right.
Half of that half. So half the country voted. Right. Then half of that half voted.
That half.
To me,
roughly half.
To me, let me tell you why I don't take that into consideration is because that half does what they're supposed to do every year. Every 4 years. And I'm going to tell you why. The liberals and the progressives, the minorities, we the ones that don't show up. We show up every other time. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I sort of agree with that.
The one thing that the right and the people, the Republicans, they have better than the left is that they show up to vote. They do their civic duty and they go vote because they understand that if I vote these people in, no matter if I fail or not, I'm gonna go out there. I may win or not, but if I go out there and take advantage of nonsense, which what happened last time, then that's how you see. Donald Trump's a consequence, bro. He's not a leader. He's not designed to do what he's doing, but he's a consequence of our negligence as a nation, our dividedness as a nation. We was cool. Obama was around. Everybody was cool. But people was angry about it. Low key.
I think there are a lot of people on the other side of the Obama spectrum that were having the exact same conversations that a lot of us are having right now about Trump.
Yeah.
And I feel like that tension was probably present for a lot of people for 8 long years. You know what I mean? 8 long years, and it was a lot of grumbling. They couldn't say anything because they didn't have a voice. And now their champion has showed up.
That's what it is. So that's what it is. He's emboldened those people to be louder. They were quiet for about 8 years, right? So my whole thing is that I don't believe, though, I do believe Bernie could have won. I do believe that if the Democrats put the right candidate up there, we could have had another Democrat. It's just the fact that they dropped the ball. So we have to understand, Democrats dropped the ball. People that went out and voted and wrote in things and stuff like that, or didn't go at all, people dropped the ball. The bottom line is, no matter what the chaos is, music will always be here to pick up the pieces.
That's
and
real,
Soulful Sunday is an outlet for you all. So if you all sad and depressed and you need to come and get a break, go get an eargasm.
Oh,
Sunday.
man. I love how you just did that. Was the way that left her. You was just like,
I was like, Donald Trump ain't gonna take over this conversation.
That was not like a graceful move. You was just like,
well done.
yeah.
That was a nice left turn.
You know what? Donald Trump, he's been taking over conversations for so long. I'm so done with him. He there. It is what it is,
man.
But you know what? He went for it. He was his authentic self.
Yes, he was.
Everybody that gets so mad about everything he does, I'm like, why are you? I knew he was
been that way for 40 years.
He was gonna
he was been that way for 40 years.
I was like, this man told you who he was. It's just like you going out with a dude and you know he's like, oh, I'm married, and then you get mad 3 months later that he married. Like, no, he told you.
Right.
He told you.
Yeah.
He wrong, but he told you.
Yeah.
But you let him in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Brian does that a lot, everybody. So watch out when you date him. He be having like 18 baby mamas.
Damn. You out here like that, my man?
No.
You out here?
0 baby.
Let me clean up this reputation, first of all.
0 baby mother.
He said, because they won't believe this.
Hey,
This
man,
is not true.
there's a beautiful woman watching this right now.
I am single.
It's like, who you a manager?
Ooh,
Yeah,
right.
I'm with that.
I am single. So.
And you know what? Listen, you got to watch them opportunities, too.
Well,
that's a whole other conversation.
You're going back to the relationship podcast.
Bruh.
It's burning in you.
I'm trying to tell you this idea.
I heard KG girl about to get a couple, half his bag apparently, man.
Yeah, that's
man.
No.
I heard.
I didn't hear that, but
Juanita Jordan, she got like what, 200-300 mil, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
MJ,
it doesn't pay to be negligent in that area of your life.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
I'm a firm believer that raising children, if at all possible, is a 2-person job.
100%, dog.
And so, you have to take that into account when you are sleeping with somebody, right? Like, okay, if said woman were to get pregnant, like, what are we looking at here?
Right.
And if it doesn't look like it would be a good look, then you have to have those type of conversations.
You know what, man?
You gotta have them early.
As brothers, we fail ourselves in that regard.
Absolutely.
Too often. Man.
Oh yeah.
Too often,
for sure.
We gotta. I talk about this with my friends all the time.
Yeah.
As a young man, I feel like fathers, because I never really had this particular talk with my dad, but I feel like the first thing we gotta learn to control is our dick. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
You it's real. Like,
Amen.
How many brothers do you know that could be so much more if they could control that side of it?
You know where it starts, in my opinion, is that same level of accountability and reservation isn't putting on boys when they're little. If you think about it, even the most stylish girl is gonna feel bad. She's gonna stop herself and like, damn, I shouldn't stop. You know what I mean? And most guys I know don't think like that. They're like, whatever, that's mad.
That's a culture thing.
So my thing is that we don't put that same stigma or same whatever you want to call it, pressure on our boys when they're younger. It's like, okay, he got a little girlfriend. Oh, that's cute. Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to stop people from having sex. I'm not trying to put cuffs on
either. But if you put that mentality like you don't need to be giving it to everybody, what do people
I'm
say
with you on that.
You know what I mean? You gotta watch you say, you ain't going out with him. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You absolutely
right. One thing.
Some cultures do.
Some do, but I just think when it comes to, as a man, being choosy about who you decide to lay with, and being disciplined enough to either remove yourself at the point, you know what I'm saying, or do what you got to do. Hey man, go pay that $40-some odd to take for that plan B. You know what I'm saying? Or just put a goddamn condom on, man.
Or just
put a fucking condom on, man.
Or just, you don't have to sleep with everybody you meet, especially the first
That's
time.
True.
Or whatever
That's
like
true.
That. I mean, we have a culture. It's a hookup culture out here. You know, it is what it is. I mean,
which has always been, by the way.
It's always been.
It's always been. Some people like, back in my day, y'all was doing the same shit.
Cell phones weren't around back in the day, right?
Very true, my dude.
So now I can get access to.
You have to work a lot harder.
Man, swipe, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
Now it was like, people was meet me at the
on the elevator.
Yeah. I mean, you be wherever, right? But, back in the day, like, you had to actually make something happen. Like, you had to get in front of that person's
absolutely.
face. Yeah,
absolutely.
To even create a hookup.
Right.
But now, like
you had to sit on the party line for hours.
That's it.
But all those that don't understand, the party line was a phone number.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you get on, and you sit up there, whatever. It's still around, actually.
Oh, is it?
It's still around.
Bro, I haven't been on the party line since like '99.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just serial killers and stuff on there.
Probably. What do you want to be?
Still serial killers and truck drivers, I think.
There's an alley.
Meet me in this basement. Yeah, exactly. The basement. No,
the other basement.
Yeah.
Not the other basement. Not the other basement.
Bro.
But yeah, so I agree that, men, we do. We play a part in it too. It's not just women being thoughts or whatever. We have some accountability in that.
For sure, man.
Whole process as well. Yeah, you're right.
But you know what? Every decision affects how you move. And at the end of the day, me and Brian couldn't move the way we moved if we had a bunch of baggage tying us back.
That's real.
You have a kid, that's a whole nother move you gotta make.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't have any, and I see people that do, and I be like, damn, dude, you better than me.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
It is.
You have to be ready for that. I mean, everybody's like, oh, you'll never be ready, but you still need to be ready.
Yeah,
I'm with you, bro.
Even financially, some of the things that we have to invest in, like, okay, you got to pay this person, pay for soccer, pay this person. Yeah. The thing is like, you couldn't make that same move if you have to put food on the table for a whole family or a bunch of kids and stuff. I mean, you can get it done. I'm not saying it's impossible. People do it all the time. Right. But it's just like, it's a different. So my whole thing is that if you got to balance your want right now with what you want really in the future. Absolutely. They got to line up. You know what I'm saying? So
that's another lesson I didn't really get to talk from my pops, man, was teaching me the long game. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that we really undervalue. And this isn't a black man problem. This is just people. This is a people. Anybody I've ever ran into is like, man, G, I want this right now. We're not thinking about 15 minutes from now, blah, 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 blah. And one thing that I've just learned, really, just this year alone, is if I see something I want, if I can wait 48 hours and I still want it that bad, then I can go in and reevaluate it. But there's been so many things I've looked at, man, man, I got the money for it right now. I know I got to pay this a little bit later, but, you know, if I still feel this passionately about it in 48 hours, then I should consider buying it. But I don't got bread like that. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. But, you know, man, that impulsiveness, you know, that right now.
And that impulsiveness in every aspect of people's lives. Like,
absolutely, man. Absolutely. Wanting to be successful. I can't tell you how many things I quit not because I couldn't do it, but because it didn't come fast enough. Which is so fucking ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro,
the long game ain't always fast. It's a sprint.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean,
that's so real. Yeah, not because I couldn't do it, but because it didn't come fast.
It didn't come fast.
I've done it, man, and I can only say that because I've lived it, man. You know what I mean? And really mean it from the heart. And I know somebody else is gonna hear this and be like, "Damn, that's me." You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Speak to some people.
For sure, man. For sure. So man, but we totally got off topic. We're gonna round this back around to Sundays here at Reggie's.
But we about to start the show.
Let's bring it back.
We about to start the show, and Jeremy, we appreciate you giving us a platform.
Absolutely,
awesome,
you know, anybody that can really, you're part of the movement now. So
bro.
So here's what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you got it, man.
How would you feel? I'm putting you on the spot. I don't care. How would you feel?
Yes, we do.
I think that going forward, we should have you interview our artists.
Yes.
Bro, the RTISAN Podcast exists to interview artists and creative people all around. So,
you're now part of it.
It just happened, y'all. It just happened.
Get that we got to sprinkle up, but this is how we connect.
Absolutely, bro.
This will be great, man, for these local artists and even non-local artists, man.
For sure,
have
man.
A platform
to talk about themselves.
Yo, I'm in Chicago. This is what we're doing here. Blah blah blah.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, you're very good moderator. Yeah.
Listen, man. Look. I tell people all the time, hey, what should I expect? I said, imagine we just finished the gig and we about to hang. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I love it, bro. This is gonna be something good.
Let's make it something, man. Okay. Let's make it something. We can hash it out.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah. So we'll make it work. Whatever, man. We'll make it happen.
So the next one, when's our next show?
December the 2nd.
That's gonna be a big show.
That's gonna be a big one.
I bet. Well, you know what? Let's see if we can get some of these knocked out ahead of time. Yeah. We can talk about it. Maybe we can get all the artists at one point.
That was a little different.
It don't matter. We'll work it out.
We got you. We got you. We're gonna work it out.
For sure. Who's performing tonight?
Oh man, we got Duke on music. She's gonna open up for us tonight. She's a Columbia College student as well. She's
you gonna
go down there and see her right now.
For sure.
And then we got Duke.
Baby girl.
We got myself. You know, Randy James. You know, Brandon 20 on Facebook and stuff. And then we got Ernestine James closing out the night for us tonight.
Cool,
so we got a nice little lineup. So you know, guys, Soulful Sunday. Jeremy, Brandon, Brian, let's do it.
Let's get it. It's lit. It's it. All right, gents, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. I really do, man. I really thought we would make it able to make it happen, yo. For real. All right, guys, thanks for joining us at the RTISAN Podcast here at Reggie's. And hopefully we get to see you guys on December 2nd for the next Soulful Sunday.
Yes.
You know, we're going to make it happen, man. Y'all stay tuned. Much more coming in the future.
Peace.